this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no one.
a second.
No.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the World. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobukijake. We're here to show you what we got.
Yeah.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
I'm wearing my SRS shirt today, though I don't have any SRS entertainment pickups. Not today. But we do have some fun stuff going. And we're going to do things a slight bit different. Actually, we've been doing it totally differently this week. I started us out with the new ones, and this time Jake's starting us out with the pickups.
Okay. So, me?
Yep.
Okay. You can tell I was paying attention. Anyway, so we're starting off with something I picked up a while back on eBay. I honestly don't really remember when or how much it was. One theme tonight is that most of this stuff is used. I think there's one exception. This is one that I have not yet seen, but it intrigues me because it is a film written by Joel and Ethan Coen, but not directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. It's directed by Michael Hoffman. And that is a film called Gambit, which features Colin Firth, Cameron Diaz, and Alan Rickman, along with Tom Courtenay and Stanley Tucci. I mean, geez, with that pedigree, this has to be worth a watch. Basically, my understanding of it is that Colin Firth is a curator for a noble, if you will, played by Alan Rickman, and he devises a con with the help of Diaz's character, who's like a beauty queen, if you will. And so, art heist kind of movie. If it's even as good as something like, heck, if it's as good as Mordecai, I mean, because I actually enjoyed that movie. This is one I definitely want to see. I'll get to it eventually, but good to have it handy for whenever that happens.
I actually watched a Coen Brothers movie just the other day, believe it or not. I rewatched Burn After Reading.
Good times.
One of their happier comedies, I'm sure.
See, that is the movie that Brad Pitt should have won the Oscar for. Or at least one of them where he could have.
Well, it seems like it's gotten to be every week, but I'm starting it with some game pickups. And again, from Black Friday era. Which is the remake of the PlayStation 1 classic, Medieval. I mean, this was less than $20, and I was like, okay, I'll do that, because the full game. So I did a graphical and updated control, a remake of it. Essentially, it's about this guy a knight, basically, who goes into battle, and he's leading it against this great evil evil guy, and then he dies like right away. He's like one of the first ones that dies in battle. Well, he gets brought back from the dead, and he realizes everybody put him up as this big hero, even though he didn't even get very far in the battle. He died like first thing. So now he's actually having to fight this guy again, as he's raised a bunch of zombies from the dead, and so his undead self has to do it. It's very Tim Burton-y in its art style and its way of doing things. So it's I've been curious about it for a while, and for the price that it was at, it's kind of worthwhile. It's a worthy pickup.
Okay. So another individual whose obsession with the macabre probably matches Burton's, or at least comes close, is Stephen King. And one of the the only new one that I have to present this week is the recent adaptation of King's Shining sequel, Dr. Sleep. The nice Ewan McGregor film with Rebecca Ferguson and Cliff Curtis, etc. Directed by Mike Flanagan. I have heard good things about this. I have not yet seen it. I'll have to eventually, but I have it. And this does include, I believe, if I understand correctly, 2 cuts of the film. I certainly hope I'm understanding that correctly, which is cool. So it's good times.
Yeah, I did watch it with my wife a while back on streaming. I do have a 4K version of it because it was really cheap when I got it. I think I presented it on the pickups a while back, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good film. Not his best, but far from the worst.
Cool.
All right, so the other and the basic 2 per week video game pickups again was one that went on sale, and I'm probably going to end up upgrading these to the PS5 versions because they did re-res versions later. But that's Neo 2. Now this is kind of a Dark Soulsy one. Neo 1 was an adaptation of a late Kurosawa story, and that never got completed. And this one just kind of follows along in those footsteps. I've heard that they've improved on a lot of the mechanics and so on. I haven't played the first one more than just a little bit, but eventually I plan on getting on the second one. I mean, I'm playing a samurai game right now, but it has nothing to do with either of these. But it has a Kurosawa mode where it turns it black and white for you.
Nice. Okay, so next up, I'm going to start a mini theme, which is kind of a strange one for me. And that is that the remaining items this week are all on DVD, which is unusual for me. I try to focus on Blu-ray, and actually every one of these I would have preferred to have on Blu-ray, but, you know, what are you going to do? This one I actually picked up from the library, so it's even more, you know, what are you going to do? You get what you get. But every now and then something really cool shows up, and I'm pretty sure this qualifies as really cool. It's a concert video, essentially, concert doc, called Mumford & Sons Road to the Red Rocks, the film, which is basically them performing at the Red Rocks. If you've seen the music video for I Will Wait, I believe that was filmed during these performances. So the I Will Wait section might actually be the music video. I'm not 100% sure on that. But we'll see. But this has a lot of really good, solid, you know, Little Lion Man, The Cave, some really, really good stuff from them. Mumford & Sons is awesome. They do good, solid music. And like I said, I enjoy a good music doc, a good concert doc. I've heard this is a good one. We'll see.
Well, I know you do love your Mumford & Sons. So the next two, and you'll probably be seeing more of these as we go, because I'm finally starting to work on my used stuff little by little, and I managed to finish a big one. And Dave had given me a whole pile of stuff a while back, so I'm finally starting to work on that. And one of those was a big old honkin' box set called Eye on Horror. You can see that's pretty big. Look, I love that picture there, right?
Yeah.
But oddly enough, very few of these would be hard for you to watch. I mean, in the sense of your traditional horror. Now, these that's 10 films. And I'm going to show you the artwork because some of the artwork really is the best part about this because the films aren't really all that good. The quality is like somebody took a VHS tape and just ripped it. And the VHS quality looked like they taped it off of a bad functioning TV. But these are, look at that artwork though. That is really neat artwork. So this is volume 1, which is Hellhole and Jungle Virgin Force. Yes. Many of these are like Filipino type films. They're all Asian cinema. This one here, you can see that. Look at that artwork there.
Nice.
There. Let me see. Does this? No. She gets their flippers, which is another reason why I like to make sure that I tested them first, because you want to make sure you test those before you enter them. A Dog Called Vengeance, which is probably one of my favorites, about a guy who escapes from prison and kills a prison guard, and the dog's like, screw you, and relentlessly hunts him down. And then the other one called Scorpion Thunderbolt. Gotta love that title. So this is volume 3. Again, look at the beautiful cover there. And 2 features there is Temple of Hell and Cannibal Curse. I know you want to see Cannibal Curse.
Sounds appetizing.
And there's volume 4. Pretty cool there. Again, the back there. And on this one is Ghost Ninja and Primitives. And then finally, volume 5. This is probably my favorite cover, actually. I do like this cover there. And there you go. So you got the Rapist and Devil's Express. I think out of the ones here, you'd probably be able to watch The Rapist the best, because it's because it's essentially a police procedural.
Oh.
And you like that stuff a lot, so at least more than I do. So you'd probably be good on that. So that is that. It's like I said, it's a pretty hefty set. I had to sit there, and this took me a long time to make room for, but I have room for it now on my shelf.
So, a while back, Entertainment Weekly put out a list of the, I want to say 25. I could be wrong, but I want to say it was the 25 best films you've never heard of. And, of course, Perfect Blue was on the list, you know. And they had Lilia Forever, which, no one's ever heard of because they still don't have an American release. And Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, which that's on my July list for Criterion, I believe. But one that was kind of surprised me, I'd heard of before, but when I learned more about it, I was surprised it was on the list. It's a film by Lasse Hallström, who did the wonderful version of Cider House Rules, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Chocolat. He's done some good stuff over the years. But he did a heartwarming tale about a man and his dog called Hachi, A Dog's Tale, which stars Richard Gere, Joan Allen, and dog. I don't know the dog's name. You've also got Sarah Romer, Hiroyuki Tagawa, Jason Alexander. You know, you can't have a heartwarming tale without Jason Alexander, right? I have heard that this is a weeper. I've heard it's a film that will turn men into babies, as it were. That is what I have been told. Does it live up to the rep? I don't know because I haven't seen it yet. But I got a line on a really cheap copy off of eBay, and I was like, yeah, I need to see that. And, well, yeah, got it. It will be watched one day. Yes, it will. But, but in the meantime, I haven't.
I think the tale behind it is definitely, well, the tale behind it is a weepy one. I mean, that's a Japanese tale originally, if I remember correctly. It's what The Dog in Shibuya is based off of, if I recall correctly.
Well,
But
very cool then.
I won't spoil it for you, though.
Oh, so you're not going to tell me if he gets a statue?
Who knows? It's America, baby. So, let's see here. This is one that I had purchased from Dane a while back. And again, I wanted to make sure I tested it before I could enter it in the collection. And this is a 3 sports film collection. Any Given Sunday, Varsity Blues, and We Are Marshall.
All solid films.
I don't like football. I'm going to be plain on that. I really don't like football. But from what I've heard, these are pretty essential football films. They're pretty essential films in general. So I thought, they're all 3 on 1 disc. I was able to get them fairly cheaply from Dane. And I watched all 3 of them, and all of them were pretty solid. I actually really enjoyed Any Given Sunday and Varsity Blues. I was kind of bored by We Are Marshall, but it's got a good story behind it. So.
Right. Well, actually, that was one of my dad's favorite films because he kind of lived that story. He was a student there at the time, and obviously not on the plane, but he really, really, really glomped onto that movie. And of course, Varsity Blues was huge for me because that came out my senior year, and Run was inescapable. That song was everywhere.
It actually had a good soundtrack.
It had a great soundtrack. Yeah. But yeah, Run was a great song. But anyway, so I saw a movie that was not nearly so ubiquitous. This was one of the films that is an illustration of why the Academy's altered schedule for foreign language features makes no freaking sense. The film, if I remember correctly, didn't get an American release for 3 or 4 months after the Oscars, where it was up for international or foreign language feature. And because of that, it was ineligible in most of the categories, as certain films will be this year. So annoying. But this was actually one that I did see at the time, and even though I didn't really like it per se, it wasn't one I found entertaining. I thought it was very well done, and it stuck with me. And that is a film, I want to try to remember exactly the country of origin. The language is French and Lingala, according to this, but it's a West African film called War Witch. That actually, I say West African, but actually I think it was a French production, but obviously took place in West Africa, and focuses on a young tween, actually, who has to grow up fast in more ways than one as she becomes what apparently is colloquially called a war witch. Basically, she is a child of war in very many ways, and it's a harsh film to watch. It's pretty intriguing. I've been kind of keeping an eye out for a while, and I finally found a copy on eBay that wasn't too expensive. Definitely worth having in the collection.
All right. So let's see here. This one's one I got for our Inside Movies Galore schedule. This is all the way for June. It's more of an upgrade. I've been meaning to upgrade the Alien series for a while. Because I had the first first 4 films on DVD and then the last 2 on Blu-ray. And I was like, I need to reduce some space in my collection. So I went ahead and I got this Alien 6-film collection.
Nice.
I actually really like the cover there. And we're going to be doing Aliens in June, so it'll be just in time to have this and be like, yes, Aliens is there. And it'll be kind of cool to revisit these in a higher definition setting. Of course, if I thought the alien looked fake when I was watching it on DVD, I wonder how it's going to look on Blu-ray. But who knows? It'll be good to have a copy that's not beaten up a little bit for Alien Resurrection. Now, Prometheus and Alien Covenant, I had decent Blu-ray copies of those already, so, But it's great to have the whole set there.
All right. So, another thing that's a little bit of a theme here is a lot of this stuff has been sitting around for a while, to be honest. And one that has been sitting around for a while is one that my esteemed co-host here upgraded a long time ago and gave me his original copy. And this, I'm almost sure, was a film that we watched on the movie game because I had never seen it before, and now I've seen it the one time. So it'll be nice to have an opportunity and excuse to revisit it. And that is the John Hughes production Weird Science, which features Anthony Michael Hall, Elon Mitchell Smith, and Kelly LeBrock. And kind of a fun sci-fi comedy kind of movie that, I'm glad I did finally get to see it, and I look forward to seeing it again eventually.
I upgraded that to Arrow, which was, matter of fact, most of my Hughes collection is upgraded to Blu-ray, except for 16 Candles. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I have several of his sitting around that I have not seen. I should probably just do like a John Hughes day or something. I wish I had time for that.
That would indeed be cool. Now, I went to Dollar Tree the other day and just browsed around, and I picked up a few things. And one of them is one that could be good, might not be good, depending. But it's one that $1 is, I'm willing to take a shot at it. And that is the film The Attack, which is a film essentially about this guy who is working in Israel, and a suicide bomber basically goes off in the area, and he finds out that they are saying his wife is responsible as the suicide bomber. He's like, no, my wife would never do that. So he goes into, I believe, Palestine in order to figure out, okay, I need to find out what the heck's going on, why my wife was there, what happened, and I need to clear her name. And I'm not sure whether this one, how propaganda-ish this is, but I am going to check it out and see. It looks like it's going to be a really good one. It was rated fairly decently. So, I mean, winner of the special jury mention in San Sebastian International Film Festival, Toronto Film Festival, was in a lot of film festivals, Mill Valley Film Festival, Best Picture at the Marrakesh Film Festival. So, it'll be an interesting thing. I'm very curious about it.
Sounds fun. Well, I don't know about fun, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Good times.
Artsy for me.
Right. Well, continuing the theme of high art and class, I've got another something that I got from my co-host here much more recently. I happened to mention that I had picked up the third movie from the library and have never seen the first two, which may not be 100% accurate, but I really honestly couldn't tell you if I've seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I did see several episodes, if not quite a few episodes, of the animated series when it came out. But for the life of me, I couldn't tell you if I've seen the movies. I just don't know. But I feel like I need to. And I need to have them, if only, I must have them. And this is a nice, relatively convenient edition. I'm very good. This is basically, we talked on our new items releases of the movie that kind of cemented Keanu Reeves' rise as an actor. This is kind of what put him on the map in the first place. Plus, of course, you got George Carlin. You can never go wrong with that. And you got some other folks involved. William Sadler's in the second one, I guess, or second one, I guess. It is past time that I properly watch these. I will be watching the third one for our discussion on 2020 films, so this should be happening sooner than later. I look forward to it.
All right. My last pickup is one that is, again, for Inside Movies Galore and also for June.
Yeah.
So Dane had thrown me a bit of a curveball, but then I realized that he didn't throw a hard one because this is actually really cheap. Sadly, not easily available on Blu-ray because this is a Miramax release, and that is the Diving Bell and the Butterfly.
No.
So, it's actually a pretty cool thing. I mean, won Best Picture for Foreign Language for Golden Globes, so that's not bad. And so I've been curious. I've heard about the film, and I will be watching this sooner than later because, well, you know why. Matter of fact, you'll be watching this sooner than later, too, for the same reason.
I will be rewatching, yes, and I kind of look forward to it and kind of dread it at the same time. I was deeply impressed by the film when I saw it, but Julian Schnabel has not directed that many films over the years. In fact, the Diving Bell and the Butterfly was followed 3 years later, and then he took an 8-year hiatus. And that came after a 7-year hiatus. And I've seen 2 of his other films. Before Night Falls was excellent, but a little bit slow and artsy. But his most recent one, and his first one in 8 years, was At Eternity's Gate, which was ungodly pretentious and artsy film. Hopefully my return to Diving Bell will be mostly positive. My first impression was it was a really good movie. So
yeah, I mean, we're about to embark on a highly personal month.
Yes.
Actually, 2 months. So It's because every pick that Inside Movies Galore is supposed to pick something that has a personal meaning to you at some way, some connection. And maybe something a little bit more off the beaten path. So it doesn't have to be super personal.
I think Dave definitely got us off to a good start on that regard.
Yes, definitely on the off the beaten path, I would say.
Yes.
And the sad thing is, I had heard of both of those films before, and I had seen the what was it? The Lake Michigan Monster. I had seen that one prior to this.
Well, I remember us presenting it and looking at the cover and going, that looks fun.
Oh, it is fun. Well, you've seen it. You know it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk more about that. Well, we've already done it because this is Wednesday. So, yes, we've already talked about it.
So get in your little time machine and go back and tune in for that discussion.
Yes, indeed. Well, with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, click that like button, hit subscribe, and share. We're actually gearing up for our 200th pickup episode, which would have been next month, but things being as they are will probably be more like mid-July, but I'm hoping to have everything together for it because we're on 185 right now, so that's another 15 to go. Yeah.
We'll get there that fast?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit shorter. It'll be a little bit longer than that. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be longer than I'd expect. I'd say 8. Yeah, it'll probably be end of July, early August now. But it's coming up, and we're hitting 4 years on the channel. We started our channel together in June 4 years ago, believe it or not. So it's going to be kind of fun. Any case, we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.